Good morning. It is 6:49 a.m. on Friday, August 16th, 2019. I'm Christiana Ellis, and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. I was weirded out a little bit by scrolling through Facebook in preparation to make this video because I saw someone had posted the poster for My Neighbor Totoro, the Studio Ghibli anime movie, which is a lovely movie, by the way. I love it, but that's not what I'm talking about here. And they were asking about whether it was okay to bring a 5-year-old to it. My opinion is probably, but it would depend on the 5-year-old. Anyway, good morning. The thing that caught my eye about it is that I noticed something about that poster that I had never noticed before, which is that the girl in the poster is not either of the girls from the actual movie. Similarities, but different. In the movie, there's a girl named Satsuki and her younger sister Mei. Satsuki is maybe 10, and her younger sister is probably 4, somewhere in that range. But the girl in the poster that I'm referring to is clearly wearing Satsuki's dress, seems to be closer to her age, but maybe even a little bit younger. But she has pigtails like Mei does in the movie, but Satsuki in the movie has short hair. So, I mean, it's one thing if maybe the poster was just an early piece of concept art or something before they finalized the design of the two girls, but it just seems unusual for the iconic poster of a classic movie to not feature quite the actual characters from the movie, but also that I never noticed that before, because the image is similar enough to something from the actual movie that I guess I just my brain filled in the details without actually noticing. There's also a little bit of a weird detail that in the movie, when she's waiting at the bus stop, she's holding one umbrella. She's got it over her head. She's actually also piggybacking her younger sister. And I could understand if the poster was not going to show that just because the angle could be weird. But she's got one umbrella over her head and she's holding her dad's umbrella under her arm while they wait. But in the poster, it looks like it's maybe a cane or something. We see the handle of what could be an umbrella sticking out from under her arm, but we don't really see it from behind. So I don't know. I mean, and this is like, none of this is a problem. I'm not complaining about it or anything. It's more just a matter of like, gosh, I never noticed that before. And it is something that I think our brains do, which is actually extremely useful in many respects, but trips us up sometimes when we realize that our vision doesn't actually work like it feels like it works, if that makes any sense. Is that, we perceive a continuous field of vision around us, those of us, of course, who have normal vision. It would seem like we look around and everything is where it is, regardless of whether we're looking at it or not. And it's just, a complete picture. There's not little gaps or trails or anything in it. But in reality, our eyes, if you track our eyes and what they can actually see, you would notice that our field of vision, like what we can actually focus on with our eyes, is a much narrower range. And it's actually constantly looking around all over the place. And so what we actually see at any given moment is a much smaller, like what our eyes are actually taking in at any given moment is a much smaller piece of what we feel like we see. And our brain fills in the details. And it's generally speaking very good at that, but it trips us up sometimes. Like that's why you can sometimes feel like I checked the counter for my car keys a dozen times and I didn't see them, and yet they were right there. And probably all that means is that you didn't actually look directly at them, and your brain filled in the details of blank countertop wherever you didn't actually look, but you felt like you looked at the whole thing. And just like I had looked at that poster probably hundreds of times without realizing that the little girl in the picture is not quite either of the main characters from the actual movie. Anyway, I've got to go ahead and get ready for work, so I'm going to leave it there, but I will talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes. Let's see. Yes, and just as an extra detail, Kimberly Fortuner in the comments says, we don't even notice the difference in our fields of view caused by patterns of rod and cone on the retina. It's true. All of that is what we actually see is really our brain interpreting and translating the data. We're not seeing the raw visual feed, so to speak. Anyway, as I mentioned, got to get to work, so I will talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes.